Welcome everybody to War Commander Unshackled. Well, tonight we have a small panel. You have myself, Dark Shadows, and the One. Now I have several invites out there, so maybe they'll come straggling in. Better late than never, I always say. So, with that tonight, we have a short show, and it's going to be basically the event wrap-up, which was the Warpath we just did. We're going to go over some update notes and content release and some changes that have happened recently. So, welcome the One. How are you tonight?
Yeah, good evening. I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you for joining. With that, so let's go ahead and get right to the update notes and content release. Of course, tonight the following changes happened earlier. XP was removed. They removed the ability to gain XP from resource gathering. So there was a reason behind that. The main reason was because the Master Loot Spec Op increased XP gained from resources by 1,000%, which inflated levels. Now, there are a few of you out there that you were stuck at whatever level you were for so many years and couldn't level up for no matter what you did. And with this nice little op, you leveled up within a week 2 levels. So the One was a prime example of that one.
Yep.
And of course, the world map, the following bases are now appearing on the map for a limited time. For those of you that don't have your Omega Blackout, September 13th through the 16th. And it's going to start at 12 a.m. Pacific time and end at 12 a.m. Pacific time. The Omega War Rig is going to come out the 16th, the 13th through the 16th. The Omega Juggernaut, the Omega Hydra, and the Omega Phantom, all the 13th through the 16th. All going to start at 12 a.m. Pacific time and end at 12 a.m. Pacific time. So here's another little few things that they fixed. An issue where the Elite and Omega Siege Squadron bases payout would not drop their intended quantities. Parts in these bases would continue to drop in a random order until next Monday, where they will follow the structure below. Elite, you'll get 3 parts from your first victory, and then a random 1 or 2 parts thereafter. The Omega is going to be a 3, then a 4, and then a random 1 or a 2. Now, this was a big issue that everybody complained about after you jumped. You lost your little accolade around your base. Well, guess what? They fixed it. So now when you jump, you should still retain your little accolade. Also, another thing they fixed when unlocking your Siege Squadron, you would not unlock the Ravengers for upgrading. Of course, the little workaround for that was to obviously have the unit built before the Ravengers were unlocked. So, with that, what do you think about that, the One?
Let's first, I will discuss the Elite and Omega payout parts. I like the thing that it's fixed every time they drop, like the 3, 4, and then 1 and 2 random.
Yeah.
Because that means that you can get a fixed amount of parts every time they drop.
Yeah, and you're not sitting there, you don't have to grind these bases out all in one day, people. You can take your time doing them while the bases drop, and it's just like the Shadow Ops right now.
Yeah, I want to compare with the Shadow Ops. Basically, you plan for yourself, like I'm gonna do a whole month, and every time they drop, I do like 5 or 6 bases.
Yep. Just like let's see here, the Romero bases, of course, for the Elite parts that are coming out. So with that, you don't have to do all 40 parts in one night. You get your 10 parts, you're done. Next Sunday comes around, get another parts. We still have, 4 weeks at least to get this.
Yeah.
So with that, of course, I know your major issue right now that you just said in the pre-show was about the removing resources or removing the XP gain on the resources. So I know you like that idea.
I believe I no longer have the ability to level up because my base, like a lot of old bases, don't gain XP unless you are online when the upgrade finishes.
Right. Now that has been going on and has been brought up to the gaming team.
And the only way when I get like XP is when I coin the building.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, how many times you do that? I mean, I coin, but not every building.
Right. I mean, if you guys don't like this idea, voice your opinion on the forums. Keep it very constructive.
I like it. I totally agree with it because the amount of XP I gained in like a week is insane.
You leveled up twice, if I remember correctly.
Almost 3 times. I went from a 43 to almost 46 in under 10 days.
Wow. So
It includes the event and the war pet. I gained billions per day. And that I don't think that's the intention of the game developers.
no, I don't know, but yeah, I don't think it was that really to be intended. It was brought up after that op was released. It's like, yeah, this is gonna level everybody up really bad. So, and it did in your case.
I'm not alone. I've seen a lot of players level up.
But I mean, if you guys liked the XP gain that you were getting because of that master loot, as I said, keep it constructive and try not to open up multiple posts. You know, try to keep it all in one area. Um, so that way I'm not having to merge or move stuff around, or the other moderators out there have to do the same. But as I said, keep it constructive. Don't use foul language. Um, it's not necessary or anything like that. Um, Now, as many of you know, yesterday was September 11th. Um, there was a major tragedy with the Twin Towers out in New York. So, with that being said, I want to honor those ladies and gentlemen that did risk their lives and gave their lives in rescuing a lot of people out there. And they are still continuing to have losses from 17 years ago due to the dust and whatnot that was out released. A lot of them have, a lot of those first responders that are still out there have developed a major illness, still giving their lives today, and it's a bad disease called cancer due to that. Now a lot of them are still kicking and surviving on, and but so, and there are a few people out there that have given their lives to cancer. It's a very bad disease. But, I do want to give a moment of silence for those people that have given their lives, being first responders, being firefighters, policemen, just for that day. So let's go ahead and give that moment of silence. All right. And thank you for participating. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen out there. Now, I have a special request for one of our commanders that is out there that is going through surgery. Let's give this guy some prayers out there. He does need them. We all know him. His name is Chad. And if I remember correctly, I do believe he's in, what's it, 161, I do believe. So, also some prayers for all those people out there that are suffering from cancer and losing their lives to that, and the ones that are out there that are survivors of it. I pray that everybody survives, you know. And I'm not that religious of a guy, but you know, it is what it is. So I want to thank everybody out there that is participating in that. So I know we have only a small panel tonight, and we got about 19 to 20 people out there watching. Any questions out in YouTube you guys want us to answer? If we can, ask me once and I'll give you an answer. If I can't, then I'll tell you I can't, or I don't know the answer and I'll find it for you. So, any questions from my little itty bitty panel?
No, this time I don't have any questions.
Oh wow, that's a first. Do we need to get you instructions on how to make pizza?
Yeah, that would be totally awesome. Yeah.
Okay. No, I'll get you instructions on how to make pizza and coffee.
Yeah.
All right, Hunter's got a question.
I think he's typing it now. Yeah.
Yep. Normally, ladies and gentlemen, it is a rather bigger panel, but tonight, obviously, things happen. So, according to the notes, yes, they are working, but it's still going to be a randomized drop.
Yeah, it's like in the old days. It's just like the old payout system is in place.
Right. It is like, yeah, the old payout system is in place right now on the Siege. So, our payout's still reasonable. Honestly, I can't answer that one because I haven't hit them because I already have it. And welcome, champ. Better late than never, right?
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure. I just interrupted you guys, so continue,
okay.
please.
All right. So we're answering. No, I don't believe the payout is still 111, but it is going to be a random drop. So obviously you missed some of the update notes and whatnot, champ.
Well, the thing I've heard, and I guess they took away XP, player XP for resource gathering.
Correct. That was the major thing they took. Just because
Is that all? I mean, is that all together, or is that just with the op running?
I do believe it's all together in the resource gathering.
Okay, yeah. I'm just saying. I can understand them taking away the player XP while you're running that op. In other words, you can run the op; it gives you the extra loot as a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
But the way this game has always, since it's been released, we've always gained some type of player XP from resource gathering.
Yes, we have. I'm kind of hoping because this op is going to eventually go away.
Yeah.
It's not a permanent op, unfortunately.
And
maybe when this op does go away, when they release the higher res payout bases, that the XP will initially come back.
Well, so okay, so as it stands right now, we get player XP from upgrading buildings.
Correct.
If I'm wrong.
Correct.
We do not get it for upgrading platoons. We do not.
No, not that I remember.
PvP, as far as I can tell, we gained player XP, but it was from taking the other players' resources.
Correct.
Correct. So
if we can't gain player XP from gaining any type of resources, and the only way to get it is from upgrading your buildings, then I'm pretty much screwed because the only buildings I have left in my base are my storage for resources.
Wow.
So once I get those back, what am I do? I mean, so there's nowhere else to me to get player XP. So what the hell is the? It's.
Well, like I said,
puts a roadblock on people leveling up. I think they. I understand them taking away the bonus, but for them to completely take it away from resource gathering is they should have just reverted to or they should have waited for this change till after they take that op out of the gear store.
Yeah, well, it was leveling up,
Yeah, it was in the way. It was annoying. Like lower levels gained so much XP. It was out of control at this point.
Right. So I mean, you look at the one. Okay, I'm going to use him as an example, champ. He was a level 43. He almost became a 46 in basically less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I did mine on purpose. Day before last. It was the day before last. I wasn't on yesterday. I think I had 800 8,666,000 player XP to go. Then I make 49. So I didn't have shit to do. You know, there wasn't no bases out or anything. So I said, the hell with it. You know, I was getting like close to 11 million XP for each Iron Strike 60. I went out and farmed Iron Strike 60s for about 3 to 4 hours straight, and I made 49 like that.
Yep. But can you imagine, let's say, somebody in your clan, they're level 30. All right. You open up a Iron Strike 60, they're running that top, and they level up like 5 levels instantly. They don't have the units to back up their level. You know.
Well, they don't have the resources to even hold that much anyway.
But they still get the XP.
Yeah, but they still get the XP because of that. So that's something they didn't want.
Well, like I said, I can understand them taking it away while people are running the op.
Yeah, I do believe that's probably a little too much coding. That would
Not really. All they have to do is keep the way it was, take the op out of the gear store. Even though I would hate for them because I love that op, but take it away from the gear store and put it back the way it was.
Yeah. And
have those master loots as a lottery prize in one of the bases they give.
That is actually the plan. That they will put the master loot in the entire reservations.
Well, yeah, but when they do that, they really need to revert back to the old way we got player XP, because if they don't, there's no way for us to get player XP. I mean, how else are we supposed to get it?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get it from PvP. You don't get it from resource. You don't. The only thing you get it is upgrading buildings. That's kind of stupid.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, and I will bring that up to the game team. Does somebody have any YouTube running? Getting a little feedback, but
yeah, that's me. Hold on.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right.
So, what else is going on?
Not much other than that. So, let's go ahead and get into Warpath, the wrap up on it. How'd you do on Warpath? Yep.
I got 15,660 something.
Not bad. Yeah. What about you, the one?
I also got like 14,000, and I didn't play that much this Warpath. I mean, I had a lot of more, but I gave a lot away to players that didn't make the 10K because they're not so active.
Right.
So I let myself get hit a lot of times.
Yeah, I believe I was hit one time.
I was hit one time as well, and I had, well, I'll say two because I gave away some, and I was off. I was actually at work towards the end of it, so I couldn't really, pop my bubble each time to give away some more. But I ended up with a little over 16K, and then I went down to 15.5. So
nice.
And I wasn't really trying to be quite honest. It was just, when I was on, just hit a base, hit a base. So, Sparky, for your the removing of the XP needs to fix it when you get up XP for upgrades when you're not online. So that is going to be addressed hopefully soon. It was re-brought up to the game team. So, yeah. Hopefully they'll get that fixed up to where you do get your XP for when your building's finished.
I think a lot of players, especially old players, have this.
Yeah, a lot of the old players do have it. I have it.
There's nothing you can do about it. It doesn't give you anything. You have to be online and even in your base when it's finished to get XP.
So, how did everybody out in YouTube do on Warpath? But
I know Debo passed his, so a level 2 is going to stay a level 2. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Right. But, 12,000 Sparky. Why didn't you come hit me? We're in the same sector. Mm. Somebody didn't get 10K because they didn't like how bloody the bloody trophy was.
I actually like the trophy.
I liked both of them. I wish I could have both.
Yeah.
Oh, you can only get one of them, huh?
Yeah, you can only get one.
Bummer. Did I stash mine?
Oops.
Bowl of Blood. No, there it is. I got it. Never mind. I can't see. Bowl of Blood. That's the new one, right?
Yep. How'd you like the time that we had? You know, it being instead of being 3 days, it was 5 days.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like it. Myself, I was pretty much all the way done. Done and through with the Friday. So what started Wednesday, so I was done Friday that night. Actually, Saturday morning, I guess, because I stayed up late. But I didn't mind it too much. I guess I look at it like this. A lot of people thought it was too much of a grind. They got to protect their base. They got to worry about staying online. I wasn't worried about, I'm pretty secure with my bases and not really worried about getting hit because I know I'm going to get it back.
And plus, your base does better when you're offline.
What?
Your base does better when you're offline anyway.
It does.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah. So if everybody in agreement with 5 days was way too long, let's say instead of it being 3, how about 4 days?
I don't think. I think it's perfect because it was like a Thursday or Wednesday, Friday. It was like before the weekend. I remember they launched it before the weekend, so a lot of players didn't play then, and they had the weekend also with the boost.
Right.
Okay, it didn't turn out to perfect with the boost. Was a bit messed up, but it's a good idea to put it on in the weekend so that players can boost.
Right. Hello, Hillary.
Hi, what's going on?
Not much. So, you've heard about, obviously, hopefully, you've heard about the removal of getting XP while getting resources.
Yes, I did.
What do you think about that?
I don't know how I feel about it. I'm kind of on the fence. Part of me doesn't like it, and part of me thinks it's okay because then you're not going to level up just farming. But at the same time, that's a huge part of the game, and that's a huge factor of where a lot of the XP comes from.
As I stated, hopefully, and I will bring it up to the game team when the op is removed and just added as a luxury op in the higher res bases, that they reinstate the gathering of XP when res is exchanged. So, and how did you do on the warpath?
Oh, I had a blast. I love Warpath. I got a little over 12,000, so I did okay considering it was done in like a day and a half.
That's good. What did you think of the 5-day length time, though?
I did not take advantage of it. I think it was a little long, honestly, but I know some people liked it, but personally, I think it's better when it's shorter.
Right. That's been the consensus. 5 days was too long for this. I mean, 3 days is like the sweet spot, maybe an extra day or a half a day. But with that being said,
yeah, I don't think it needs more than 2 or 3 days.
Debo, you home yet? I mean, I actually enjoyed this warpath. I know a lot of people do, but having to defend your base an extra 2 days kind of like put a hankering on it for a lot of people.
Just means we had to fight a little bit more.
Hey, fighting is all what this game is about. You know, it's not Farmville.
Exactly.
All right. Any questions out in YouTube? I would say it says basis. However, I can't load up the game while hosting the show because I don't want to lag out. Anybody want to do any bases specifically? Show us your way.
I'm
I'm
not
not
much of a
doing any
technical player.
bases. I'm lazy right now. I'm just I don't have any special ed, but I'm rushing it, so I wouldn't learn anything.
Hey, bum rushing's learning something.
I'll kill my shit some other time.
All right. Well, we do have a vent coming right around the corner, as everybody knows. How are you gonna prepare for this one, champ?
I don't prepare for events. I just do them.
Yeah.
What do you need the preparation for?
No.
It's a Sentinel event, so I'm gonna hide in the corner and cry.
You know what?
I'm not prepared for the Sentinel event.
Well,
Just bring out some of the purifiers from your armory. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your same units for the main faction track, and then just go at it. Have fun.
Oh yeah, I know the main track is not a problem, but my seekers and that kind of stuff is a bit low level.
maybe they'll bring out a seeker package. Come on, kids, I bring out a seeker package. Welcome, Devo.
What's going on, guys?
Did you have a nice
Hey,
drive?
Devo.
It wasn't bad.
Took you long enough.
It takes me over an hour to get home.
That's it. So, have you used that master loot op?
I use it a lot, yes.
Okay. Well, if you haven't heard by now, they have removed the gathering of XP when doing resources. What do you think?
No, yeah, I heard it. That's why I posted in the YouTube chat. So what basically we're saying right now is a level 2 will stay a level 2. We'll never hit level 3. I'm finding it hard to change my mind on the fact of would I recommend this game to other players at this exact moment in time. I decided after hearing all that bitching and complaining that no, I would never tell any of my friends to play this game. That I decided, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and start a new War Commander account, which I did. I believe that count is now level 9 or something. Just playing, not feeding it, not asking for help, just playing the game to play the game. And I was actually having a lot of fun with it. But what's the point now? It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm talking to Storm Chaser in Discord right now, and so basically what I said was, am I to believe, or am I to understand the only way to gain player XP is from building upgrades? ? And Storm Chaser replied, "That is the intent. Yes, we know we have bugs to fix in that though." And then I replied, "So what do I do when I have my base maxed? ? Because my base is almost maxed." He says, "Wait for more building upgrades? ? I said, "I guess I'll just stop playing." I'm not gonna what the hell? I'm not gonna log into this game every day like I usually do. If I'm not leveling up, I'll go to another game where I can level up.
No, honestly,
I can go to a different game. I can go to World of Warships. I can play other games where I'm actually advancing in the game instead of just at a complete stalemate. So that's my plan. I'm just gonna stop playing this game.
Oh,
All right.
That kind of sucks, there, champ.
Yeah, that's not a problem. It'll save me money.
Can you blame them though? I mean,
Uh,
in reality, I mean,
Well-
let's think about it. Okay, yeah, I understand the op running gives you 1,000%
well,
extra
that's
XP,
that's
but that's in my opinion, that should be an easy fucking fix. I
all
mean,
they
they should
need.
just
Debo,
go ahead.
Debo,
Go ahead.
all they need to do is just remove the op from the gear store. As much as that would suck, at least it would still give us a chance to level up.
And that's what they
They
did
ma-
with dropships.
they take it out of the gear store. They make it a lottery prize. Problem fixed.
I know, I agree 100%.
Instead, they just pretty much screwed the community on this one, in my opinion.
No, I agree. I'm champ. I'm right there with you, bud.
Yeah.
I mean, my base isn't. You got a few more things max than I do, but at the end of the day, yeah. I mean, I'm right there with you. And if the point of the game is for us to grow and continue to get bigger, then I mean, if they take that away from us, there's nothing left for us to do. Why play the game?
Yeah, he just threw that one at me like, wait for more building upgrades. No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, that's just. I hate to say it on everything I've seen from Storm Chaser. I give the dude mad respect, but that was just a bullshit answer.
Wait for more building. Nah. Sorry, Charlie.
Yeah, in my opinion, if this is the way they want to do it, their best course of action would have been taking it out of the gear store at this point and leaving the game the way it was.
Yeah, just before it started toggles, yeah.
So the people who still had it, just like the drop ships, they'd still be able to use it, but nobody else can buy it anymore and call it a day because it's not right at all. Because I mean, Champ said it, said it best. I mean, what's the point? What's the point of playing a game if you're not going to upgrade?
Right, and the only way you're.
I mean, some of us play this game like I remember playing this game 8 years ago, saying, "Man, I can't wait! Oh, I can't wait to get to level 30. I can't wait to get to level 40." And now it's like, "Fuck! I can't wait to get to level 50." Well, it doesn't seem like it's ever going to happen at this point now.
Yeah, unless you wait for more building upgrades.
And the only way you're going to get your XP right now, because that is broken, and you have to be online when that upgrade finishes, is there is no other way. So, because a lot of the XP you got was from gaining resources from other bases, hitting players. So, this is something that I'll bring up to the game, whether or not they.
I just straight up told Storm Chaser. I guess you lost me on that one. I'm not fucking around either. I'll just I got the what do you call it? The World of Warships. I got that app on my desktop. I'll just play that. It's a free game, and I'm able to advance on that game pretty quick. So if I can't advance on this one, fuck this. I'll stop. They'll save me money in the long run anyway.
And I hate to see it happen, but I mean, it is a way to have fun, and if the fun is taken out of it for you.
Well, that's the thing in any game, though.
Yeah.
That's any freaking game you play. That's freaking.
That's the point of the game, is to level up your character, to level up your base, to level up your vehicle, to level up all this stuff. That's the whole point. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, you're chasing the final dream to be 100% maxed out.
Right.
Yeah, I agree, guys. But if you don't max it out in one day, it takes so much time you can't even keep up.
Yeah. And I'm not sure.
So they look at.
Yeah. I know. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, it irritates me because look at the drop ships. Okay, the drop ships came out. We all fucking loved them. It literally took Unshackled an hour, maybe less, to figure out how to exploit them and utilize that exploit. It took Kixeye less than 30 days to rip it out of the game.
Well,
so I mean, okay, fine. They found something with this new op that they don't like. And they don't want to see a level 30 upgrade to a level 50 or whatever. I don't know the reason why, the real reason behind it, but
it's on the forums. It says people's levels were getting inflated. That's like, pretty much not word by word, but paraphrasing what they said on the forums.
So what happened when the dropship shit happened? They took it out.
Yep.
So they need to just take the stupid thing out, rethink it, get their asses in gear, putting out these higher resource bases, and put XP back to the way it was.
Exactly.
That's the only way you're going to save a player like Champ. I mean, realistically, I'm looking at my game right now, going, what's the point now?
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I have left is resource storage. That's like metal and oil resource, and those upgrades are, I don't know, 2 days, whatever, 5 days on the final level, I think. So if I gotta stay on just to upgrade my resources, fuck this shit, and I'm out. I got 1,500 gold on my account right now. I'll just use that up on PvP and then call it a day.
Yeah. Like I said, hopefully they will get this sorted out, and I'll bring up what your concerns are to the game team. Now, I know
they know my concerns. I already brought it up to their face.
So, I know City had his show earlier. Probably discussed on there. I know War Commander Hangout will have their show later. And we'll have theirs, of course. And this will all be brought up there, too. So, and I mean, this is the voice of the community. These shows are. Also, like I said, if you guys have a problem with it, keep it, as Anton would say, keep it classy in the forums. Voice your opinion.
I was classy about it. I told him straight up. I guess I'm out of here. Yeah. No cuss words involved. I just said, yeah. I'm walking away from this game straight up.
Yeah,
I mean, nothing to do with it if they're gonna fucking take my levels away, or me the ability to level up.
For you, gathering res and hitting bases and getting res from those bases was your work.
I admit it. Hey, like I said, it was the night before last. They had 800,666,000 left till I was made 49. I had nothing else to do. There was the useless bases that I didn't really need, so I went out and I plunked out Iron Strike 60s for about 3 hours, dropped all the way. I made 49 in that night. So yeah. It wasn't really an exploit, though. It was just giving the extra player XP resources that they were giving me.
Exactly. But you take advantage of what they give you. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but I don't even consider that an exploit.
It's not an exploit.
And
it was something it was an.
If they had a problem with the dang thing, they should have just took it out. That's all.
Well, it was a side effect.
I mean, instead of, I don't know who's making the decisions on this, but they need to really rethink before they pull the trigger on something. They really need to get our thoughts on it. They need to ask us, okay, what would you guys think if we did this? How would it make the community feel? Would it make you walk away from the game? Absolutely, yes, because I'm telling you guys, I am. If they don't fucking fix this, I'm out of here.
I understand it wholeheartedly. Like I said, I'll bring this up to the game team and see what they say. That's all I can do, guys and ladies. So. And the other shows will voice their opinion as well.
I understand what Champ is saying. He maxed his whole base out on, so he has nothing to achieve anymore in the game.
Right. For him, it's all about the level right now.
I mean, there are not a lot of players that have that kind of a max base, but there are some out there, and yeah, then they are basically done and the fun is gone.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be really sad to see players leave the game. So hopefully they figure something out and make some changes.
Well, let's see what they do. Like I said, voice your opinion, ladies and gentlemen out there. And that's what you got to do, voice it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, hang on. Mr. Storm Chaser is out in chat. So, Storm Chaser, everybody's complaining about this removal of XP resource gain. So yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. I mean, the consensus is it was a bad idea.
Storm Chaser, you can hit the rewind button because I'm not going to say what I just said, but if you replay it, you can get my opinion on it there. But I've had my say.
Well, as we all know, there is a bug with. I'll recap real quick for him. There's a bug with building upgrades. You have to be online or coin your building upgrades to get XP.
Okay, wait. Let me go, Dave. Okay, Storm Chaser. Okay, here's the point I just made. If we can't advance levels, there's really no. I mean, to me, I don't really feel like I'm getting anywhere unless I'm leveling up. It makes the game fun to say, hey, you made first star general or whatever the ranks, lieutenant general, and then you show like the 2 stars or whatever, and then so now we have to. What you're telling me is we got to wait for my building's almost all my base is completely maxed almost. I was just saying I got resource storage, so once my base is fully maxed, I have to wait for new buildings to come out. I'm just not going to do that. So what was just said was, rather than changing the way we're paid out XP, just completely remove the op from the gear store and keep the XP payout the way it's been since the game came out, pretty much, right? I mean, we've all, just keep it the way it was. I mean, there's no reason to completely alter the way we level up because of this op. All you had to do is just remove the op from the gear store, put it in some kind of lottery system from PvE bases. I don't know what base you're supposed to come out with a new PvE base. That's the whole point.
Stormchaser, you asked, so you'd prefer the old metal and oil grind. If it means that we still get the level up, yes. I mean, at this point, I understand what you did, but I agree with Champ 100%. I mean, if this is the knee-jerk reaction that's going to be taken from it, you might as well just yank the damn thing out of the gear store like you did the drop ships. At this point in the game, I mean, if nobody's leveling up, okay. So if you're level 30, congratulations, you're level 30. If you're level 40, congratulations, you're level 40. If you're level 9, congratulations, you're level 9. You will not go any higher. The only XP you're going to get, and it's minimal at best, is from leveling up your base. So at this point in the game, why don't you just erase everybody's level and just have it say their name and no level whatsoever? Because that's what it turned into.
I always liked that notification he made Colonel such and such, 3-star general. Fucking, I always enjoyed seeing that. Once you level up, I thought that was cool.
Well, I understand that. Yeah, our level 30 does not have a max out base, and they will still be able to progress. Okay, but what about the people like Champ? What about the people like me that we're done now? I mean, I'm a level 48. What do I have left to do in my base? I have some power plants that are definitely going to get done. I have resource storage, which I'll never do because I have the compression, and I'm not going to waste the extra power to upgrade those. So that way, the first thing I lose, I go low power, and I have the pumps inside my base, which I'll never upgrade. So I mean, that stuff is all going to stay stagnant. Nothing else is going to move in my base, and I'm going to stay at level 48. Hoping that maybe the power plants push me over to 49, but they won't. It's like we said, it gives us something to play for. It gives us something to, hey, we're progressing. Hey, we're in a competition with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times that, the three of us that I can think of would be like Champ, Lonnie, and myself.
Yeah.
Oh, who's going to hit 49 first? Oh shit, Lonnie beat me. All right, well, I'll see if I can get, catch up and get past. And it, like I said, in our opinion, it's an easy fix. Take the damn thing out of the gear store, put it back the way it was, and call it a day.
And exactly. And also,
if this is the way you're going to change it, then screw it. I mean, give us back drop ships.
Might as well, man. You know, I always like for PvP, for instance, right? You catch a player with a lot of resources in his base, you get what, 50% of those resources. So in a way, PvP is a way of leveling up because you're collecting that other player's resources. That's, I mean, I always look. That's, to me, that was the easiest. Well, it's the most difficult because you're losing shit, but it was the funnest way of leveling up. And to that note, I did not use the op during the whole warpath because I had my hookers going because I wanted to get inside people's bases, so, or travel across the map. Whatever I did. Not really.
No. The level number, honestly, is a representation of how long you've been in the game.
But it still doesn't represent
What?
the power of a base. I mean,
so yeah, that's true in a way. I would agree on because you do see a lot of 48 bases that have been reset for cheating.
Yes.
And you do see a lot of 48 bases out there that have cheated, that no longer play. They got banned for whatever reason.
For example, you see also a lot of bases that are low level and almost max because they never gained XP for upgrading buildings.
I mean, if you take a 48 or a level 49 like me, Debo, or a lot of other players out there, there's a lot of other players that are they do represent the level they are.
Yeah.
What he's talking about literally is refactoring the way it's done, giving it a major overhaul. So
I'm just saying, I was fine with the way that it was. I was your occasional player XP from the building upgrades we do.
Well, let me ask this of Storm Chaser real quick. Once the higher res base payouts come out and this op gets taken away, will the gaining XP from resources be reinstated? So, see what he says to that. Okay, can be done, yes. So, probably the next question from some of the people out there: when do you expect to have the higher level res bases come out?
Well, think about it. Okay, Storm Chaser, think about it like this. Okay, here's an example. If he changed it, if he did some dramatic change on the way we level up, think about it like, because this game is War Commander, right? We're supposed to do PvE or PvP, fight each other and stuff. Alliance against alliance, clan against solo players against. So if you based your player XP on a combination of PvE, completing your shadow ops, for instance, or completing an event, doing it through that, you definitely have to factor PvP into that. But think about it in real life. Is a freaking colonel? Is he earning the right of? Is he earning the rank of colonel from leveling up his freaking base? No, he's earned it through commanding his soldiers and fighting the enemy and shit like that. I don't know. I'm just spitting ideas out there.
Yeah, that's what this show's about, spitting ideas out, brainstorming sometimes. So, it is what it is. I mean, yes, it is an ever-evolving game.
I mean, there's got to be I consider an important part of the game. I guess Storm Chaser. He, from what I gather, what you're saying, Storm Chaser, you don't really consider the level to match the power of the player. I agree on that to some degree.
Power of the player, power of the base, power of, he's talking about multi-ranked systems. One representing base power, one representing attacking power. Because, I mean, it is possible for a lower level to have, you know, level 15 phalanx or whatever, depending on how much store they can hold. It all depends on what they can upgrade.
Well, I would say at this point, yeah, level, say level. I don't want to go anywhere in the 30s. I'm not even touching that because, well, you know,
Right.
That's I would say 44 and above. A 44 or above should have an average base and have good, strong attacking power. Anything below that, if you're doing better than that, if you're 43 or below, you're doing pretty dang good, but you can still have a strong base and still be a pretty good attacker if you're, I would say 43. You're doing pretty dang good, but you can still have a strong base and still be a pretty good attacker. Where's this echo coming from?
Hang on. Hunter, you need to mute your YouTube, please. And I muted you, by the way. It's the first time we've got Hunter on here in a long time, ladies and gentlemen. Must be something really big.
So,
I mean,
completion of activities, PvP, weekly payouts. I don't know. Well, you guys got any ideas? Am I the only one here with ideas?
well, you got the idea there. I mean, I like the idea of completion of activities. You know, give a specific set amount for doing a certain type of base. You know, you're not getting XP from the resources of the base, but you're getting XP from completing that base, and it doesn't matter what base it is.
I think there's got to be a way they can include PvP in that factor. If they're going to factor something in, above all, they should factor in PvP. If we're taking losses for our platoons from attacking bases, we're doing all these upgrades, we're repairing our tunes, you know, some of us are spending gold.
Well, Storm Chaser just did say doing shadow ops, events, PvP, etc. There's a good representation for XP.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean,
that's a huge part of the game. The whole point. If you're not getting XP for doing that stuff, then what's the point of even playing the game?
But for example, in the event or something, and you can complete a base without losing units, do a perfectly attack with no losses, you can get more XP than someone that bulldozes the base.
You know, and that's also showing that players are active too. You know, I mean, it should be showing up in your statistics when you look at these weekly reports or whatever for how many players are doing, you know, spending what amount of time on the game and how many on are at the same time. I'm sure you don't look at every single player individually, but there's got to be a way you can pull up like a PvP report, see how many actual players are doing PvP.
Let's get the Hunter's thoughts on this real quick.
Me personally, I think the refactoring is a great idea. I mean, everybody doesn't want to lose a level. I mean, Champ wants to say level 49, but if you refactor this and start on a level base and foundation across the board with all players, then we can move on. I mean, say you lose 3 levels, but we all lose 3 levels, depending on the data that Kixeye has access, because I'm sure they probably don't have over 7 years worth of data still in the archives, and it would be far too much work. But wouldn't it be better that it refactors and we get new levels, and then we can all move on something that isn't broken.
That'll be
I mean, for me, it makes sense. I've never understood this whole level thing because there's no benefit to it. You know, I could see if you say every time you increase in level, you have a bonus or a buff to your defense or your attacking, values and your percentages, then I would see it being a positive thing. But I think, look, the thing's broken, right? The levels are totally unrepresenting any level of any player right now. So why not just refactor it, start fresh, everybody's got the level, and move on? You know, right now, if you said, some players are not going to be happy. Oh, I've dropped 2, 3, 4, 5 levels. I'm not happy with that. But across the board, for the majority, it's got to be a step forward. Right now, it's broken. It doesn't work, right? It's just like, the one is said, he's ramped up 3 levels just by hitting, resource spaces. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, but because my base was way too low in the first part anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't represent my base.
So let me read you this question that Storm Chaser asked in YouTube. So if we pursued making sure these types of activities were awarded player XP properly, would you care about XP gain on resource looting anymore? The answer to that, at least my answer, is no. And I understand what you're saying, Hunter. And
no, I agree with you. No, I agree with you entirely. XP for collecting resources isn't.
Yeah.
It isn't real XP. Nobody should be getting that. Okay, if you hit the challenge, if you hit the challenge bases, you're hitting the tech bases, you're hitting the token bases. Yeah, there's value there. But res and depots. So
I hear you. But okay, for your personal opinion on just the concept of leveling up. When you get that notification, hey, you made captain or you made lieutenant colonel, how do you feel about that as part of the game?
Trust me, I think that leveling up has value. I think, and to be honest, there's too little importance from Kickstarter on the leveling up factor. Yeah. I believe that you should be looking at a buff to your defenses capabilities, your attacking capabilities, your units damage output, DPS, something like that. If you suddenly become a 49 and you're some general, there should be value amongst that, apart from a number in the top left-hand corner of your base.
Yeah,
that's a great idea, and I completely that would be freaking awesome. You get some kind of incentive for making general, 3-star or 2-star or whatever rank you level up to. You get some kind of bonus to your base or your damage or whatever. No, that would be awesome, but it's the way that they're going to go forward with giving us player XP to get to the next level.
Yeah, but we all have to agree that we've got to swallow that bullet and refactor it. If we want to move forward with something that it's going to work, then we've all got to step up and say, okay, go for it. I'm a level 46, 45, right? If I dropped 3 levels tomorrow in the refactoring, to be honest, I ain't going to lose any sleep on it, right? But if I know that's my true level, and that from there on, that my level is a true representation of my base and my units, then I'll be happy.
Yeah, if they could make every base like a correct level for the base. For example, champ is then maxed, he gets a high level, and the player that doesn't have maxed buildings gets a bit lower.
I'm pretty sure the way my base is upgraded and the way my units are upgraded, there's a lot of players out there that have higher level than me, and yet I have my base is slightly more upgraded than theirs. But yeah, I agree with the concept well, shouldn't just level up because you're getting loot from PvE bases. But if you're going to make this change, have a plan to, you know, at least give us the opportunity to level up in some other way, rather than just ripping it away from the game. So hopefully we've thrown like a few ideas out there, but maybe we can post some of these ideas on the forums. Just alternatives to like leveling up.
Yeah. I'd just like to say, you know, Storm Chaser makes a valid point that obviously the incentives or any bonuses that are received with leveling up, you know, has the possibility of, you know, creating this gap between the hires and the lower levels.
Yeah.
And as such, you know, I can appreciate that. And, you know, putting out there defensive buffs and attacking buffs and all that might be a bit too much. But there could be other aesthetic rewards in terms of skins or something like that.
Yeah, skin or even like a little logo showing what rank you are outside of your base. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, not just that. Even if it does widen the gap a little between the players, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, the higher level players have obviously been playing for a longer time. They are more skilled. They put more time into the game. You don't want to do something that's going to phase out the players that have been committed to the game. So if there is a little bit more of a gap, so be it. But I mean, no matter what, you've still got players. So you're not actually putting a gap. There might be a gap between the number on their base and their ability, but that doesn't mean that you should penalize the higher levels just because the lowers can't keep up.
Well,
did we break this game in 3 weeks? No, seriously, that's a legit question. Okay, this is all because of this op that came out. This op's been out for what, 3 weeks or a month?
Well, he said the reason it needed to be done before alternatives could be put in place was we didn't want the gains to grow too far out of control.
All they would have had to do is rip it out of the gear store.
I would like to counter Storm's claim. You know, you can create these gaps between the higher and the lower levels, but to be honest, every CC upgrade that we see does that, because ultimately by the upgrades that are added in CC 14 and the players, the high level players who then do procure the upgrades immediately, you automatically create this gap between players. Now, you know, good or bad, I understand that, you know, there's business models and revenue streams and bills to be paid, and as such, you know, sometimes that's the way commercials go. However, you know, that gap's already there. You know, you know, you're not going to vastly inflate it by, you know, refactoring and adding bonuses and incentives to leveling up. And in fact, you may increase PvP because then players will see value in actually upgrading and up leveling as quickly as they possibly can, because of there's a reason to do it.
You know, I mean, it's like it's a leveling up, getting higher level. It's I hate to say it, but it's bragging right, man. It's like, hey, yeah, I'm a 45, or I made 49. What? It's fucking bragging rights.
Yep, for some of the higher levels, it is a bragging right thing. So, Storm Chaser says we didn't want to get forced into situations needing to remove any amount of levels from anyone if we level this imbalanced mechanics functionality too long. So basically, leveling up is imbalanced, he says. Well, a good way for us to mitigate the gap between, to reduce upgrade times and older content so they can catch up to current meta power quicker. And he got
can I just say something on that, David? With regards to rebalancing the previous upgrades, I think that should be a matter of course every time they do a CC14, a CC upgrade, that that there should be max level, max timelines for upgrades, and then everything else is then rebalanced below that from the previous CC or the other CCs. It should be, if a CC is going to take 11 days to upgrade, then the previous CC upgrade should be lesser. CC 13 should now be 10 days. CC 12 should be 9 days. There should automatically, I believe, every time there's a CC, that there's a rebalance to the previous upgrades, like Storm is saying there. And I think that would be the perfect way forward. So, there isn't every 6 months, an increase in upgrade times and people getting further away. I'm now 6 months behind. I'm now 2 years behind. In every CC upgrade, that gap just keeps growing and growing. If they rebalance those upgrade times for the previous ones, then I think that works perfectly.
Yeah. I just sorry to interrupt, guys. You really know it's a huge issue if the fucking Scotsman gets online here.
Well, Storm Chaser said he agreed with you. We talked about that in detail when CC14 was released out. Yes, the upgrade times are skewed out as well. So, and I know they're still talking about restructuring that. Hopefully, it doesn't take too long because we got another 6 months before another CC is released.
And just one very important thing for you, Storm, is that no upgrade to any building should be greater than the CC. I mean, I do believe the CC is the #1 building in the game, right? I don't see how a weapons lab should have a greater upgrade time than the most important building in the game. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, hang on. Animal brought up an idea, brought up something. He said just to make the op give the same amount of XP per res as if the player had enough hit enough bases with the op to gain the same amount of res. If this didn't in any way, what was the point of the change? Storm Chaser said there was a technical constraint that did not make it possible to separate XP and resource gain. So it's not an easy fix, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, to do that. So
I still don't understand how we broke the game in 3 fucking weeks. Because some of us played more than others? Because some of us farmed more than others? Like, it doesn't make sense. There can't be that big of a gap to just say, screw it, we're taking it out.
Well,
if that's the case, I mean, there has to be some way for them to see, what people had before they put the damn spec op out. And just reset everybody back to what it was before the spec op came out.
Here's a question, people. I mean, should they have removed the spec op until they had fixed it?
That would have been my idea.
Yeah, I would have. I'm in agreement. I would have totally removed the spec op from the gear store. Just put it by the wayside until further notice. And then brainstorm ideas. How else can players get XP other than farming resources? And then put that idea to use, whatever ideas they come up with. But I think the most important thing, what they actually really should have done on this issue is they should have asked us. They should have they should have posed this as a question.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But the approach I would have taken is this should have been a focus group for me.
Exactly.
Kickstarter should have held a focus group.
A focus group, or whether or not if it's something they can put in Discord. The forums are so toxic, man. I hate putting stuff in the forums. I don't even go to the forums hardly ever, and a lot of players don't either. But you know, a lot of the community, they're in Discord a lot, and put it as like a major announcement, and somehow get it linked up there, and inform players. You know, dear commanders, we are considering the way players are being awarded player versus player XP, or you know, PXP or whatever you call it, to level up. We'd be interested what you'd like to hear, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Do you have any ideas? If so, please send them to this whatever link.
Yeah, well, I think there's still time, Champy. I still think that there's time for them to create a post in the forum, but also still time to just create a focus group and discuss in detail. You know, rather than, you know, just by the by, because it is an extremely important factor in the game, and that's essentially why I came on.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a good idea too. Have a focus group. I mean, there's multiple ways you can do. It's just not a one fix all. Is you don't have to do it one way. You do it multiple ways. You can have a focus group. You can pose the question out there to the whole community in Discord or on the forums. I do not prefer the forums though, because forums to me is yucky. You know, and just let the players give their feedback on it. What other ways can we gain player XP from? You know, I made a few suggestions. I was just throwing them out there. People may agree or disagree. You know, just give us give them some ideas. It's what they work off of. I mean, sure, they don't do this all on their own. Hopefully, they listen to some of us once in a while.
Well, I mean, he did say that they're talking about, you know, giving us XP rated on what we complete, whether it be a PvP base, smashing somebody, whether it be completing a base in events, whether it be hitting a rogue faction, whether it be hitting a special token base. And he did actually say that that if once the stop is removed, the gaining of XP will be reinstated. He is hearing everybody's ideas and opinions. So, I mean, it's no easy task with this op honestly, to remove the gaining of XP, because that's how the game was written. You gain XP by resources, and we all hear. And I hear your ideas. He's hearing your ideas. He's hearing your thoughts on this. So, and I'm sure he's going to hear it on the other shows when it does come up.
Well, I mean,
No, I think, you know, I wouldn't be saying this at you know, the show or the comments here today have been negative. On the contrary, I think that, you know, they're all positive points that have been brought forward. You know, just to realise how important the level of a player is, and it certainly is.
Debo, he did say earlier that he was something about. I'll have to scroll up about it, but here, give me 1 second, and I will. Let's see here. Where was it? It was something about calculating all the XP you should have based on the buildings you have upgraded. He goes, okay, here we go. Well, actually, here's the thing. We know what buildings and upgrades you have completed in your base. So I'm thinking maybe we can go through and add up all the XP you should have from it.
No. Because prior to this this update, we did receive player XP from resources.
Yeah.
It just wasn't 1,000%, but it was still little by little resources.
Right.
So it's not all based on your base upgrades.
Right. Well,
so if they took all the upgrades away based on what we have up on our base, fine, so be it. Drop us down whatever level we need to be, and then That just seems like a major.
Well, that's
Going
all.
on.
Instead of doing all of that, instead of causing what would inevitably be just a ton of drama from everybody having an outrage over their level being changed, just leave the level the way it is. Pull the DM off, get it off, and restructure the way that this is done. I mean, it's a war game. There should be more XP coming from PvP and stuff like that. It shouldn't just be resources. They do need to do some kind of restructuring, but I mean, recalculating our levels, that's just going to cause outrage among all the players.
Well, I think,
I agree.
And a ton of work.
well, I'm thinking he's going with that just based on now, Storm Chaser, you can correct me if I'm wrong. At least for, let's say, when you're doing upgrades and you're offline and you don't get that XP, this will at least award those people that are missing that XP for those base upgrades at least. And he did say not only will it be calculated with base upgrades.
I see.
So.
Oh, it'd be easy. I mean, you have to backtrack a little bit. Just backtrack the day before the op came out. Reset me to 48, which wouldn't upset me too much, but I can grind it. But I'd prefer to have a solution to gain XP, player XP, before you do that. So I'm not sitting stagnant for weeks. Hey,
they really should implement some more PvP XP awarding. I mean, there's got to be something because it's a war game. I mean, that's the whole point. You don't want to just get your XP from grinding resources.
Well, the way it was prior, they did base it on the player XP on resources, but the PvP came into that because the player's base you hit had resources in it. So, say a player had like 100 million resources, you totally take 100% of his base, you get 50 million resources right there. And that goes towards your XP, or at least it did. It used to. Now it doesn't.
Yeah, but then when you hit those players that don't have any resources, say they've already stashed all their resources, but you're out smashing bases and you hit these players that don't have anything, there has to be some kind of way to calculate in that you're hitting these players.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess that's something to look at. Look at the, I don't know, difficulty, the base you're hitting. I don't know how they calculate that crap. I'm not coding any crap, but there's got to be a way they can figure that out and implement that.
But how can they do that when, I mean, the shit's been broken forever, and it all of a sudden this op just put us over the edge, and we can't play it. We can't upgrade anymore, or we can't gain levels anymore. I mean, look at the one. Okay, the one. What level are you?
45.
You're a 45 right now. Before this op came out, you were what, a 43?
Yeah, but I'm almost maxed.
Okay, so you were a level 43, almost maxed out.
Yeah.
And that was okay?
No. I complained about it, but
No, but what I'm saying is the shit's been broken forever. I mean, a lot of people, you weren't getting XP from your upgrades. I couldn't tell you, exactly what XP I was getting from upgrades, but I mean, you got a player like you. You were pretty much maxed. You were level 43. Okay, so basically, the first warpath that ever came out, you went out and dominated the entire warpath because you were technically a level 48 or 49, but your base level said you were 43.
Exactly. That's why I was first in leaderboard.
Okay, so we had an op that came out, and people were able to rank up within 3 weeks or a month. And now it's too much now. It's we gotta turn off the game because it's.
I think it this way. It was broken before, but when the op came out, it was like a magnifying glass above it. It was shown how broken it was.
Yeah, but I mean, still to this day, we have people that aren't gaining XP from upgrades.
Yeah, I still don't gain XP of upgrades. I finished my war factory, my barracks, the spawner buildings. I'm not online when it finishes. I don't get XP. When I press the coin button, I get XP.
Yeah, there was a point in time you could upgrade your platforms. I remember these times. For each platform you upgraded, I forgot how much XP you got, player XP. It was ridiculous, though.
A lot.
You could upgrade a level just off your platforms.
Yeah, and if you didn't get that, you never got XP and you was low level.
Yeah. I think that was a couple years ago, but
So why don't we just fix the problem as it sits?
Yeah, I think it's so broken. They have to look at the base, look at what levels you have, and make a level out of that, and set everyone the level that base is supposed to be. You know.
Well,
I mean, in reality, you know, the comment was put up there. You know, so the last 7 years of hitting rogues and getting the XP off those rogues is now wasted. Well, if this is what it's turning into, I mean, my comment in the YouTube chat was as legitimate as it can be. Kixeye needs to go into your base, take each level you have. They already have the math. They already know how much XP they gave you per level, and set everybody's base to what it is per what you have.
Yeah.
And then figure out a way to gain XP from here on out, if this is the way they're going to go.
Because it's for everyone, so no one can complain. The whole game will be changing to a new payout.
I agree with you, Debo. And, you know, it's going to cause people to probably whine and scream on the forums and at Kixeye.
But at the end of the day, what's fair is fair, correct?
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree.
Or do we leave it now where I can scroll over to this level 50s base who has a base that should be a level 13?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. The thing with the levels, though, I'd prefer to keep the structure the same, like as far as levels with ranks, because I personally like that, making like general, colonel.
I agree with you.
I like that part of it.
That was one of the best things about the game. You ranked up, you moved up, you got. I mean, you know, I would love to see, you know, the special perks and shit. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah.
But I mean,
even if it's just visual though, like even if you see, like you scroll over your base, you get to see your rank. Like you get to see like the silver star or the silver, whatever you call it, the thing for the colonel. I forget what it's called. But I was Navy, so I wasn't in the Army. But
I'd like to
the 2 gold bars for captain, for example. I don't know.
I'd like to go
Silver.
for Hillary's idea. Why not just leave the levels as is? Don't do any refactoring, and then just correct it, the system as it is. Say, okay, you stay 49, you stay 45. Fine, right? This is a new XP for leveling up. It's put in place. That's got to be an easier workaround for Kixeye. Everybody's happy. They get to keep their levels, and we move on.
As he said, where they're looking in ways of restructuring it, and hopefully it will make it better. And as he said, you know, guys and lady, that when this op does go away, they'll reinstate the XP gain again. But I mean, it's as you can see, Storm Chaser, it's got a few people up in arms about the removal of the XP from resource gains. And as far as, you know, trading resources back and forth between a player and leveling them up, I'm not sure how many people are still doing that, to be quite honest.
Someone said that would cause more lag, but I don't know.
That's bullshit.
I don't see how adding a little logo with your rank on it would cause more lag. Whereas, like, you have a bunch of moving trophies, compare that to your lag.
Keep your mouth shut about my trophies.
Yeah. Now, he also did say that it is possible they can move on with the new leveling system, but would preserve what your legacy level was and move forward with a newer system. So, but before doing anything like that in defining a new system, we'll have to definitely reach out to the community first when trying to define it.
Yeah.
Please have a focus group if you decide to. Please have a focus group to brainstorm on this idea of yours. And I would love, I personally love to. More experienced players, if you decide to have a focus group, the more experienced players you have in that focus group, I think would give you probably the best ideas how to move forward with this leveling up thing. Just my opinion. I'm not dismissing lower level based on time, I guess, right? Whoever's been playing, do it on player ID.
Oh yes, that will be awesome.
That you see active,
Because a player ID shows how old the player is.
Yeah.
Not the level.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to base it on level, but do it on like active players with player IDs that are still active. You know. Oh shit. We beat a dead horse. How'd they fuck the game up in 3 weeks?
It was already before it came out. So.
Sorry.
That was,
It made it more visible.
that was a legit question by me. I'm sorry.
I suck at that.
Okay, I'm leaving now. I said my piece.
Thank you.
Bye, all.
Bye, everybody.
If you could
Hold
stick,
my beer.
if you could stick around for another 5-10 minutes, we'll probably wrap this show up. So that way you can give some shout outs if you want.
Nah, I don't want to shout anybody out.
We'll give a shout out anyway right now. You jock.
Don't be shy. You can give a shout out to the Irish.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm Scottish Irish, mate, so that works for me.
All right, give a shout out to like at least Johnny Walker.
How about them unicorns?
For sure.
Okay, that fell on deaf ears. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my dinner is actually getting cold. So I want to go ahead and wrap this little bad boy up. Thank you, Storm Chaser, for coming on and hearing us and hearing what we've had to say and taking into consideration. So some of the ideas, having a focus group possibly for this new coming change. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to start off with giving out final shout outs and moans, groans, complaints. We're going to start off with the one.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to everyone watching on YouTube and to the panel. And a big shout out to Storm Chaser for answering and putting up all the questions.
All right. Hunter, you're up. Give your last moans, groans, complaints, and final shout outs.
Now, I'd just like to a big shout out to YouTube chat, my home, and Susie T out there and Storm for listening to our points of view here. It's much appreciated, and thanks for having me on the show.
All right. Hillary, you're up.
Just shout out, thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate the opportunity. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Storm Chaser, thanks so much for being here and answering so many of our questions. It's what makes this important. And shout out to all you guys on the panel. Y'all are awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Debo, you're up. Moans, groans, complaints, and final shout outs, please.
I think I moaned and groaned enough. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to YouTube. And I'm going to give an early shout out to Kickside for fixing this fuck up. Because it needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed soon. Otherwise, you're going to look at players that are like Champ and myself, and we just decide there's no point to playing the game anymore.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Champ, last complaints and shout outs.
Just shout out to you guys on the panel. Thanks for having me. And YouTube, Storm Chaser, thanks for listening, at least, providing or listening some of our ideas. Hopefully can follow through with something to fix this fuck up. And I'm not going to give a shout out till Kickside fixes it.
All
to
right.
Kickside. So that's all.
All right. Well, thank you so much. My final shout outs are going to be to everybody out here on this panel, everybody out in YouTube, for listening to this ragtag bunch. I want to give a shout out to Storm Chaser for coming on and listening to everybody moan, groan, and complain about these changes. Now, these are these people that do play the game, and they should have the voice. For those of you that want to make a voice and make it clear, make a post on the forums. Keep it constructive, please. I want to give a shout out to our other moderator out there, Skipjack. She would like, if everybody could, give a prayer out to Chad with his things that he's going through right now. She has a family member also going through having cancer right now, and if we could give a prayer for them, both of them. So just remember that, ladies and gentlemen, this is a pixelated game. It's not real life, but we do make really good friends doing this and playing this game. We play it for fun, we play it for our friends, and we play it for enjoyment. So with that, this is War Commander Unshackled. We're out.